Right, thank you so much for making time and for joining us on yet another exciting episode of Meet the CEO. We are in Istanbul, Turkey, and of course our guest in the program is none other than Turkish Airlines Senior Vice President. Thank you so much for joining us on the program.
Thank you very much for coming.
Right. You are among the top managers of a very, big institution. And of course, it is important to understand, your responsibilities. What exactly is your role in this institution?
I'm responsible for the sales for Sub-Saharan Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Sub-Saharan Africa, we consider all the countries below the Northern African countries.
Mm-hmm.
And we have around 35 cities in Sub-Saharan Africa, and I'm responsible for the sales in this department.
Mm-hmm. Right. So how is it in a day? Your work in terms of how it starts and how it ends?
It starts, of course, latest 8 o'clock. It must start latest 8 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
We are here 8 o'clock, and it ends up by, I don't know, sometimes 6, 7,
Right.
8. And it is a long time we are here, and my daily business here is really very busy. And you can just imagine in so many countries and cities they are daily in touch with us, and we try to help them, we try to assist them from the general management to the destinations, we can say, and this is our daily business.
Right, officially it starts at 8, but for you personally as a senior, vice president here, what time does it start?
In this sense, if you think in this sense, it's 24 hours, of course. Even in your sleep, you are in it.
Yeah.
You cannot come out of it. It's a big responsibility, and we try to manage it, of course. And the lucky thing for us, for Sub-Saharan Africa, is we are in the same time zone. So that means if we are here 8 o'clock, most probably in Africa, plus minus 2 hours, and we can connect to our people in the African continent.
Take me back to your life as a young person. How was it like?
As a young person, I was born in Germany. I grew up in Germany. Then I moved back to Turkey, studied in Turkey, business administration. Then I moved back to Germany to study economics, and I finished my university, my master in 2006, and in 2008 I joined Turkish Airlines in Germany, in Düsseldorf. Then I moved from Düsseldorf to Abu Dhabi, the United Arab Emirates, from Abu Dhabi to Osaka in Japan, and from Japan last year in August I was appointed for this position in Istanbul.
And is this what you'd wanted to do? When you're growing up, most
Actually,
kids...
I studied in Istanbul.
Yes.
14 years ago I finished my university here. It was in 2001. And at this time I decided I have to be back to Istanbul sometime. And it was last year, and I'm very happy about it, to be in Istanbul.
Right, to be in Istanbul. What about in the aviation industry? Is this what you'd wanted when you were young, when you were growing up?
Yeah, I'm a person who likes to travel, and likes to travel. I'm a person who likes to discover different cultures, and that's why I think I'm in the right field here. So I'm not a person can work only in the office. So also you can imagine that our work is not only in the office. A part of it is of course in the office, but twice a month at least we are traveling. So mainly I'm traveling, of course, to Africa, and I have visited many of my destinations in Africa, but 13 of them still left. So those destinations I want to visit also. This makes us excited about this position, actually. So.
What are these 13 that are left to go?
Yes, unfortunately, Kigali. Kigali and Entebbe. This one we are planning within June, hopefully. And Addis Ababa, which we are planning on 26th of May. And next week we will be in Addis Ababa. I wasn't there yet. So, but a good information for you. Of course, I started to visit the destinations where we have more problems. So that means in Kigali we don't have much problems, so there was no need to visit. But anyway, in the end we have to visit all of them, and Kigali will be next month.
Right. Most of the CEOs and top managers that I've hosted on this show have all had a difficult childhood moment that they remember, that when they sit back and they remember those moments, they either say that moment shaped me to who I am today. What is that for you?
I cannot say it was in my childhood, but I can say it was in the time when I moved from Ankara, the capital city of Turkey, to Istanbul when I was 18. So this was the time when I went to Istanbul and separated from my family, actually. I used to stay in a hostel here, and I came to a capital, not the capital city, but a mega city like Istanbul, millions of people, and far from my family. And I really believe that was the point, what changed me to the person what I am now.
How did it do that to you?
I mean, you are in Istanbul, you are alone, you are a student, and you don't have much money, so you have to survive. You have to study, you have to finish your university in the time which is only 4 years, and you don't have more money to invest for another year, and you have to manage to survive in Istanbul. It's not easy, but I think I could manage it. So after I finished it in 2001, immediately in 2 months I was able to go to Germany, because in the same time I applied also for a university in Germany, and they accepted me for a master program, and I studied in Germany also further. So the most difficult time for me was, of course, the time when I separated from my family to Istanbul, to a mega city.
Right. Now, being, senior vice president, definitely among the top positions here in Turkish Airlines, what are some of those decisions that you normally have to make that sometimes have turned out to be those difficult decisions that you've had to decide on?
You mean in this position or in
Yes,
general?
in this position.
In this position, I mean, we have some routes. It's not profitable for us. Okay. The most difficult part of this business is to manage this non-profitable routes for us, because we are flying to these routes because we hope to manage to make profits in these routes, but for, let me say, for 2-3 years we don't have a profit, and those are the most difficult decisions for us. What we should do, actually, should we withdraw? It's not in our character, by the way, to go back. We always want to go forward. Should we withdraw? Should we invest more to get more? Or what we should do? This is the most difficult question, actually, here in this position to be answered.
Right. Now, talking of top managers, some of the things that I've also been able to hear from some of them is that sometimes it's difficult for them to find people they can just be easy with and just talk to and relate to, because more often than not, you are always looked at, even by your members of staff, as that person who's no nonsense. You don't have to even go and joke with them. So quite often most CEOs and top managers have that problem of not having someone to. Do you have this problem?
No, I don't have this problem.
Yes. How do
I'm
you
a very
do it?
open-minded person.
Yes.
If you go up to my department, you will see that we are almost friends. We are very relaxed with all the people, and if you maybe had the idea what we had here was the visitors from Kigali, and I'm a very easygoing person, and I don't have this problem, actually. I mean, so in this position, no need to be more, let me say, how you call it,
rigid,
more official.
Right, more official. Right. Is this part of what?
By the way,
yes,
what I want to say is, the much you speak, the much you discuss, the much you chat with people, you will learn. The much you learn, you can decide in a better way. For example, from all the destinations in Africa, we are having also staff from the local countries. Let me say, in Kigali we have, example, 10 staff. One of them will be Turkish, or 2 of them will be Turkish. The remaining will be from Rwanda, local staff. So what I say, for example, all the staff comes to Istanbul for any reason. It can be a trainee, it can be a duty, whatever. They must visit me. Why? Because I chat with them. I try to learn from them. I try to understand what they think, how they think. And I try to get as much information as possible about Kigali as such, as a city, about business potential, about the things we do in Kigali. Do we do the things right or not right? Is the information officially what we are getting correct or not correct? So that way, you really must be very open-minded and discuss with the people.
Right.
Don't hesitate to ask whoever it is, whoever position they are, the people, to ask and discuss with them and have a warm welcome for them, and they will see that they will speak a lot with you.
Right. So that means what you're saying is top managers should always be open people.
Of course.
And of course, what other mistake do you think most managers make that make it difficult for them to achieve their goals?
I mean, one of the biggest is definitely to not to be open-minded. I mean, believing in the stuff in your mind and not listening to others. This is the biggest problem.
Right.
You can have the right idea, but sometimes also not. If you insist in your idea, that can be a problem for you. You cannot insist in your idea. You must listen to others. Of course, you must decide one time. There is a time you must decide and you have to go forward. But you cannot say that you have the right idea and this is the only idea, because we are in such a dynamic market, the aviation business. So many factors are influencing the decision of the managers here, or general decision. So you cannot say the one I know is correct and I'm deciding now like this. So you must collect all necessary information to have the right decision. That's why your decision might change sometimes.
Right.
It should change also.
Right. Okay, we're going to take a very short break. When we come back, we now talk a bit more about the aviation industry, the lessons that we can learn from Turkish Airlines as we go back to Africa. Right, thank you so much for being with us. Do stay with us. We're coming back in a very short break, and of course, we'll be able to sample some of your comments if any of them come through. Do stay with us. This is Meet the CEO.